I am on my Cool J. You're not tuned into Off My Cool J, and this is the Cool Report. If you do not know what the Cool Report is, then you are just disrespectful, and you've been living under a rock and you slipping, homie, because I just started this segment last week. That means you really missed out, so you should probably go ahead and check that out. So this report is news based, and what better news to start out with than hip hop? And first runner up is Taxstone. If you do not know who Taxstone is, he is a New York based hip hop podcaster. And basically, why he's in the news for is for his possible affiliation or his involvement in a shooting that took place 8 months ago at the Irving Plaza where T.I. was performing and another artist was there by the name of Troy Ave. So basically, what happened at this place 8 months ago was a shooting took place where Troy Ave was shot in the leg and his bodyguard was killed, and another party goer was there and she got shot in the leg. This altercation took place on the second floor of the establishment where Taxstone and Troy Ave got into it. So fast forward into 8 months later, the feds probably just got enough information to like really try to indict Taxstone because they just finally got around to processing the gun, which had DNA traces of Taxstone on the actual gun, the trigger, and I think the magazine or the bullets, they said. So Taxstone is like a felon. So if you're really in tune with your law like that, he's fucked no matter what. Even if he had anything to do with the shooting, he's going to jail. He might be doing an 8 to 10 just because of the gun. But because there is DNA on this gun and there's an open murder still, they're trying to give him the whole plate and put him for murder too. So I don't see Taxstone coming out of this with a happy ending. Like this is like the worst case scenario type of situation. So I think about 2 days ago, he was able to get bond, but the DA fucking tried to appeal it and he got denied bond of $500,000. So that's not happening either. So his podcast, which is Tax Season, will be on hiatus until they figure out what's going to happen. Now, another person affected in this was the artist Troy Ave, because Troy Ave, even though he might have been the victim, we don't know if he was the victim or the aggressor. It's still unclear. But when the scuffle broke out and he got shot in the leg, the person that originally had the gun, which we don't know who it was, dropped their gun. So Troy picked it up, came out of the room where the altercation took place, and started shooting rounds into the club where there was people at. So he's kind of royally done there. That's attempted murder. That's reckless endangerment. So he's looking at about I think they said 40 years. So he's getting the shittier part of the stick out of this situation. So he and Taxstone, if convicted of their charges, which Taxstone actually might just be convicted of his gun charge, they might be sharing the same cell in prison, which really is fucking hilarious, but fucked up at the same time. Because you got to see the irony in that shit. Two people that don't fucking like each other now going to the same fucking place. Good luck, homies. Speaking of luck, guess who does not have any luck in this world? Well, that person had luck until they got caught, which is Bobby Shmurda associate Santino Baldrick. I don't know how to say his name, but this guy is royally fucked because of music, or it might have been the investigation. Either way, he's going to the same place too. He's going to prison, but he's going under the goddamn prison, and he's never gonna leave. He's gonna wake up one day and look at his goddamn boots and notice it's starting to grow goddamn roots. Like, that shit is crazy. How can you fucking live with yourself for 117 years inside of a fucking prison? And he might have been involved in a shooting. From what I heard, he might have taken a life. So 117 years for somebody that could have taken a life. Whatever. Fuck them. They could go to jail. You commit the crime, you got to do the time. That's what I always say. And I believe his charges were maybe attempted murder. I think that they couldn't get him for murder, but they got him with something else, which I'll get to. But they got him with assault, aggravated assault, and weapons charges. And the one I'm gonna get to right now is conspiracy. Now, conspiracy is a bullshit charge where they can't actually convict you of committing the crime, but they could get somebody that says he did the crime, which is still not proof. But they're about to like violate that, man. If you don't believe the conspiracy is like a bullshit charge, you can ask Max B, because he's doing 77 years for fucking planning a crime that he didn't even commit through. He didn't even go with it. I'm not gonna say he wasn't gonna go through with it, but he didn't get the chance to because he was double crossed, and the people just went along with it without even acknowledging him. So these assholes caught the charge. They caught the murder case. They got the grand larceny charge. But because Max B was a high-profile celebrity at the time, aka a hood celebrity, they wanted his ass, and they hit him with that conspiracy charge. And by the way, judges, can you stop giving out these bullshit sentences? If you're giving me more than 50 years, I don't want to hear about that shit. Unless you're giving me 100 years that I'm eligible for parole in like 3 years, like, cool. But if you're giving me anything more than that, just say, yo, just start making your funeral arrangements now, because you're never fucking leaving here, kid. You're done. You're fucked, alright? That would be more better. That's more realistic. Don't be giving me no fucking false hope thinking that I could live to 117 years. Let's get off prison and get into something a little bit more lighter. Now, this just happened today, and today is January 21st. And a report came out that Tidal has been bullshitting us with false streaming numbers. Like, they're inflating their numbers to make it look like they're actually doing something when they're really not. So we don't know the far extent that it goes for that. But that could be really damaging to their brand. And I'm just going to keep it a buck. I really don't give two fucks because I have Spotify. And Spotify's been real good to me. And Jay-Z just wants to be a dick and keep all his music there. How can I really care about a Beyonce album like that? But I really miss listening to The Blueprint. And he pulled it off YouTube. So he really fucks me up when I got to watch or hear a shitty quality of girls. Jay-Z, get your shit together. Well, that's not really your company like that. You're only part owner of it. But you gotta have your team tighten up, Jay, because you don't want the media to portray you as Kanye West. Not even Taylor Swift Kanye West. Like Simon Phoenix Kanye West with this blonde hair type of bullshit, because they're really gonna come at you. Also in hip-hop, the song by Young Jeezy, My President is Black, has been put on pause on the date of January 19, 2017. That is only because we have a new elected president by the name of Donald Trump, which I didn't help elect, just to put that out there. So we're going to have to put this song on pause for probably 4 years, 8 years, maybe. We don't know yet. We don't know when our next black president's going to be. And it's not like we could really, how can I say this? I could still bump it, but it won't have the same significance. But hopefully, by the time we get a new black president and we can start playing this song, I might have a blue Lambo to drive around in. Hopefully. And you best believe my rims might be blue. Let's see. Now let's just shift this over to world news. And in the world, on the same day, January 19th, 2017, my cousin, aka El Chapo, aka Joaquin Phoenix, aka Super Mario, was extradited to the U.S. for drug trafficking charges. Now, he was extradited from Mexico all the way to New York City, and they played that shell game where either he was escorted to JFK or this airport out on Long Island. I forgot the name of it, so I'm not going to fact check it right now because fuck it. But yeah, he's here. He stood trial in Brooklyn on Friday, which was the 20th, to see what his fate's going to be, because Mexico was trying to jump him off here before we got to build that wall, thanks to good old Donald. But it's just like, is it really, really bad out here compared to a Mexican prison? Where I've seen his Mexican prison. He had like he didn't even have like a bed. This shit was just like a floor. And he was under like 24-hour lockdown all the time. Now, America's already doing great because they said we're going to put him under 23-hour lockdown. But he's a little bit stepped up now because now he's going to actually get a mattress. But that man has money and he has power. So any place that we know that is corrupted, just like our place called America, hey, he's going to buy some influence out here. and he's gonna make his time in jail go way more smoother than he could down in Mexico. Did I say jail? I mean prison. He's going to prison just like Troy Ave and Tax Season. Maybe you can hear this from me. Maybe I might be the source for this. Maybe this might happen. But what if El Chapo, Tax Season, and Troy Ave started podcasting jail? I might actually listen to it. That shit might be real as fuck. Since I mentioned Donald, we might as well jump into it right now. You know, on the 20th of January was his inauguration, and he was sworn in to be the President of the United States. But before we start talking about all the shit that's going on right now after this fucking ceremony, let's talk about the shit that was going on before and how artists were being threatened for their lives for trying to perform at the inaugurations for Donald Trump because of the protest against this man. So it's kind of crazy. Now, you could call me a whatever, but I was kind of supporting Chrisette Michele in her decision to perform there because let's just be honest, when's the last time you checked for any of her music? She hasn't really been popping since Aston Martin Music, and what was the other song that she had with Nas? She had that Nas song. Do you see where this is going? Like, I can't even remember two of her songs that were popping in these streets and the radios for a while. I can't even remember the names like that. I'm struggling. And then you got people like Spike Lee that are pre-social media era trying to jump into this conversation with this woman about what she should do. And he threw out that claim that he was going to put her on a show. But let's be honest, Spike, like, you really haven't been popping since the 90s like that. I don't really think people are checking for you like that. I think we only check on you to see if you still go to the Knicks games. But that's just my opinion. Like, I really feel that she did the right move for her own career because she wasn't really selling like that. But she's a fucking moron because why would you only perform for $250,000? The holiday chick that was performing at every inauguration before was getting paid $5 million. But she stopped because she was being threatened for her life. And what do you think you're going to go through? So I'm not taking anything less than $5 million because you're paying me the same goddamn amount she was making because she left for a goddamn reason. She knew shit was about to get hectic and she didn't want to go through it. Speaking of hectic, those riots during his acceptance ceremony was wild. You would think that it went back to the 70s because there was rioting, there were fucking fire hoses with water being let off from people, flashbangs going on right down the block from the White House, and it's fucking crazy. But the other thing I want to talk about was the turnout. Like, I thought the turnout would be semi-decent, but that shit was pitiful. And there was like more people rioting than people turning out to see him be sworn in. And that just shows that people really don't fuck with you. And I just remembered he went through electoral voting, not even the popular vote. Hillary got that magically. But yeah, that shit was bad. I've never seen, I think that's like the first time in history that the turnout was that low to support a president being sworn in. More people showed up to the Women's Right March today that took place all day today in DC and certain places. I think in LA and New York as well, or might New York be tomorrow, I don't know. But there was more of a turnout, like more turnout. Why do I keep saying turnout? It's turnout. More people came to support women's rights than to support this man, which is great because this is what we read right now because we kind of need this unity right now to keep us together because there was a division happening amongst us right now, and it is being televised for the world to see, which we now can see. Like, yo, shit is going down real fast. It's not looking good right now. And I have my boy Switch Gears that told me the other day, he was like, look, there was either two things this election was gonna bring. If Hillary was elected into office, then we would have a World War III because we would be beefing with Russia. And if Donald was elected into office, we would have a civil war, which is kind of looks like it's happening right now because there's separation of race right now and things are really tense right now. And you have to like really pay attention to the news and what's going on. There's a lot of hatred right now being spewed all over the world, and especially during social media, because that's where everybody's really fucking vocal because they can say shit and there's no repercussions to it. But this guy today, I think he was actually has like a government title, like a high position, but he's a neo-Nazi. So like he was spreading his own propaganda today, and some guy took it upon himself to shut him up, and he punched him on camera, which is like I'm kind of on some like I'm okay movement shit. Violence and violence just begets more violence. So I felt like as an American citizen, you have the right to practice freedom of speech, but you gotta chill because people are gonna react weird, or they're gonna you never know how anybody's gonna react. Let you like kick your piece and keep it moving, or they might just fucking react and just hit you in the fucking face. And that brings me to my next topic, which kind of involves Charlemagne the God and Andrew Schultz on the show The Brilliant Idiots, because they had a great topic, and I've been saying this for years. And this war, this civil war that we might join, the biggest problem isn't our opposition, it's ourselves, because a lot of the times we're at each other's necks. And the name of their episode that I'm talking about was called Engagers versus Resistors, I believe. And every time we clash, it's never good because we always feel one side is never doing enough or one side is doing too much. And we just kind of like fucking berate each other and pick at each other. Like the resistors feel that the engagers are holding us back from real progress, while the engagers feel that the resistors are holding us up too, because they think that we're just going along and agreeing with everything that our oppressors and our opposition says, which leads to words like Uncle Tom or Uncle Juan or whatever you want to say it. But it's just tedious to keep fighting with each other when we can actually be making real changes in the world. Like, we just need to like wake up and notice that we're not fighting against each other, or that we shouldn't be fighting against each other, and that there's a bigger picture at play. And we could actually start changing the fucking picture when we finally get it together. Like Obama did. You can hate that man, knock that man. No, you can hate that man, but you cannot knock that man and all the shit that he's accomplished with all the mess that he was left by with George W. Bush Jr.? Yeah, Jr. So, because that was a fucking mess he got left with, and he helped clean it up, so I salute that man. Also, before he was in office, gas was like $5, and like that was a cheap one. And now we at $2.19, which everybody keeps posting on my fucking Facebook timeline for some reason, because they want to see what the numbers look like right now. They want to remember what the numbers look like right now to see what it's going to look like in 4 years, to see if Donald Trump actually made an improvement or he didn't. So you got to give the guy a chance. Like, let's see what he really does. Like, I don't know. You can't ask for results right away, because even Obama took mad time to get results. Back to the Women's Right March. Two people gave interesting speeches that I kind of found funny and liked. One was Madonna, because Madonna was on live TV talking about what kind of man's gonna hold you back, blah, 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 blah. And like mad boldly, knowing that she had every news station aiming their cameras at her on live TV for her to go and say, fuck men. That shit was classic. The news cut everything off right away. They had to apologize. It was pretty funny, and it was appreciated. Because America really needed that chuckle, because we're in such a serious state that we're not even taking time to enjoy ourselves and really enjoy life right now. We're just all focused on Donald Trump, worried about what he might or might not do, and it's just like draining the life out of us, and it's really bad juju, or it's like a bad mojo out there. And it really sucks, because we used to be lit, we used to be happy, and now we're all depressed and shit, coming off as a third world fashion state, knowing damn well we're still in first place because we don't deal with third world shit. You don't believe me? Go ask El Chapo, because he just made it here, and what really sucks for him is that he's not even gonna get to enjoy it, because he's over here extradited, and by the pictures that I've seen, not the bullshit pictures that the news media put out where he looks scared, because I've seen pictures of him where he looks calmed and relaxed, sipping on a goddamn Sprite, chilling. is that he came here under extradition and not even of free will. I'm pretty sure he would have fucking loved to be here and go sightseeing, but you know, that's the life of a drug lord. But yeah, he does not look shook to be here in America. It looks like he might have been upgraded to shit because, let's just put it like this, he has enough money to have like some influence on people around him, whether it's the jail or in the government. He's fine. The pictures I saw of him so far, he's just chilling in a chair with 2 armed guards, sipping on a Sprite, and he looks like he's telling one of the guards, like, yo, can we speed this up? Because I want to go to my cell and watch HBO. Like, I don't got all day here. I want to log into my social media and see what's going on with these memes about Donald Trump and Bill Clinton. Speaking of Bill Clinton, why they fucking with Bill for? They got him under the gun again with Hillary, saying that he was checking out Melania Trump during this fucking acceptance, which is pretty fucking funny. Yo, I hate the internet. The internet is undefeated. You can never win with the internet. That's why I don't even want to be famous at the time, because if they find me doing any stupid little old shit, they're gonna fucking immortalize that stupid shit for the rest of my fucking life. And it's not even worth it half the time. It's really not. Good old Bill, man, keep your head up. Now it's time to end this podcast, and I am on my Cool J, and this has been the Cool Report with Off My Cool J, and I really hope y'all enjoyed this. If you like this kind of video, like, share, comment, and I will continue to make more of these videos. I'm gonna keep it a buck. I feel like this podcast wasn't the best. Like, I could have did better, but it's a work in progress. It'll get better. If you like this kind of like format that I'm doing right now, like I said, show love. It'll be deeply appreciated, and